Hi everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Burgess and I thought today we could paint some bales of hay in a field. And what I've done is I've already drawn the horizon line and put some trees in the distance there. And I've also already drawn some of all the hay bales. But it's very simple drawing. Really, what you're doing is just drawing a C on its side like that, and then another C behind it, stopping short in the distance there, joining the two ends together, and then just that. That's really what your hay bale is like. So what I'm going to start off doing is painting the sky with cobalt blue. And I know there's not much of a sky showing, but I want to paint the whole area with cobalt blue because oh, we forgot to wet it. Let's just wet it first, and now it's going to be tainted. Okay, so we're going to wet the sky area or the background distance like that. Wet that, and then I'm just going to take some cobalt blue and just put that in. Now I'm not doing any clouds or anything like that. They're all going to be hidden anyway, so there's no point in putting dramatic clouds or anything like that in. That's what I'm going to do. And whilst that's drying, what we're going to do is now work on the field here. Now for the field, I'm going to start with some raw umber, and what I'm going to do is start laying it down. Let's just wet it a little bit first. Now I'm going to try and avoid this distance, the sky that the blue that connects with the foreground, the ground. So I'm just going to leave a space here. Go all over their bales of hay, because they are going to be they're going to be yellow ochre anyway, and the parts of the field could be yellow ochre too, and the raw umber may be lighter. To bleed a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got some raw umber here, and we're going to put in. We could sort of have it coming this way like that, in the direction, I suppose, in which it might grow. We could make it darker. I'm going to change my brush to a sort of a round one, and we could use this is a number 4, and we're still going to go with the raw umber. Give the illusion of sort of distance. Have them radiating out of one particular point might help. And then we're going to go back to the cake. We're going to add yellow ochre. Again, yellow ochre and raw umber look very, very similar. the ochre to the distance. Still using the number 4 here, but you can. Don't go by the number of my brush, because it is a locally produced brush. So the number 4 for this one could be a number something else for a bigger brand or another brand. This is not a big brand brush, but it does the job. I mean, it's got a good point, as you can see. What I'm going to do is use the foliator brush. Go ahead and add. I want to add a little bit of burnt sienna to this mix as well in the foreground. I'm going to stroke it. It sort of looks like it's bent. It's sort of on a curve. More ochre in the center there. Now while that's drying, what I want to do is work on the trees in the back. Now again, for the trees, it's going to be various mixes. So we're going to be using yellow ochre with some deep green, and we can just sort of a bit more yellow ochre actually for that one. I don't want to go over that bale of hay. Add a bit more. A bit of burnt sienna to that as well. To just vary the color, just to give it a bit of variation, so it doesn't all look like one big line across there. And as you know, you don't want to put too much detail in there, because for this painting, honestly, the focus is more on the bales of hay. Go back here and just add a bit more. What I'm going to do is add some blue to this. Rinse the brush out. I don't usually rinse the brush out, but on this case I'm going to rinse it out. Maybe some of the cobalt blue. That in there. And now what I want to do is take a card and just scrape out a few things here. And then with the rigger, I want to add some darker trees, and for this we can use some Van Dyke brown I've got. You can use burnt umber. With the round brush, what I want to do is take that sort of a greeny mix we have and just sort of dot it along the bottom. So you don't go around that bale of hay. You can take the foliator and just push it up, so to give it like it's some sort of foliage there or bushes or something like that. Okay, and now what I want to do, I want to work on the bales of hay. So you just take yellow ochre and you just paint it in. Paint one layer in first. Well, let's put one at the end there because it looks like it's all white there, so we can put it there as well. Same sort of shaped. And then we can maybe along here as well. There's all the places that you see in the distance that have a white patch, just put them in. We just keep doing that. I'm going to stop the tape so I can finish them all off instead of wasting time. Okay, now that we've done them all and I think it's dried somewhat, what we're going to do is take some brown and put some shadows in. So let's just, we don't want to put too much shadow in or let it spread. So what I want to do is just put it on the end here like that. All on the left hand side because the sun is coming in from the right. Now we're going to let that dry again, and while it's drying, what I want to do is add a bit of texture to the field with yellow ochre, and we're going to use this brush just in sort of places, and we're going to use some raw umber as well. If you want to do this, you can use any bristle brush for this, or even a round brush whose tips you've bashed against your palette to splay them out. We'll go back and add a bit of markings under each of those bales of hay. Let's go back to the round brush, and with that I want to add some yellow ochre under each one of these, watery yellow ochre, a bit more watery I think. spread them out a little bit. Burnt umber, and just put a few markings inside, like a sort of rolls like. That's too strong. Let's use yellow ochre instead. No, that's not. Let's just mix colour up, make that a little bit. This, I want to go back with a bit of shadow on the ground. And some of those shadows again. And I think one more, and with the just to put a bit more texture in places. What I want to do is just one last. I want to but this one needed to stand out a bit more against that background. And with the rigger, I think might do is add a few fence posts. One more thing I want to finish off with, just one bird in the air because there's not enough room for more than one. So let's just put one along here. Now looking at this painting, I do want to fix a few things and I'm just not happy with them. So what I'm going to do is, what I want to do is just vamp up some of the trees here using this brush. And I think they need to be darker. We can leave some light bits on. And I put the washi tape back on because I want the washi tape to protect the bottom half of the field. I prefer this. This looks a lot better. The colour is a lot better. Leaving some of the lower underlayers as lighter, which I think is a good idea. I just felt it needed to be a little bit sort of darker in the distance there. And one more thing that I didn't like about this painting, which I'm going to try and correct, is the fact, now I'm going to remove the washi tape. Just looking at the field, and the field looks a little bit off in terms of perspective. So a brown here, just to make the field recede, the trees recede. They don't have to be exactly straight. You just want that impression of perspective by having the distant lines closer together. And what I'm also going to do is take a flat brush and make the lines a little bigger along here. The other thing that I've sort of noticed is that I feel that the shadows under the bales of hay are not strong enough. So what I'm going to do is that just didn't seem like strong enough. They look like snails. Oh, that's one way of drawing snails, isn't it? Some of them need to be a little bit darker, because the darker they are, the more effective they look in terms of the light and dark. And one more thing I want to do before I go is add a bit more sort of texture. And for this I'm going to use a little bit of burnt sienna, maybe use the foliator brush for the distance. I want to add more in the distance and a bit more in the front as well. And I think we're done now. So just a quick sort of touch up of places that I felt needed a bit more revamping. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.